Determining the amount of pigment that I use on each of my epoxy pours depends on the look of epoxy that I'm going for, whether that's opaque epoxy or translucent epoxy. Once I've got that determined, I have to look at the thickness of my pour as well. So on charcuterie boards like these, they're poured at 3/4 of an inch thick. So the thinner the pour, the more pigment you'll have to use to achieve the same look as you would on a say like a 2-inch table. So like I said, these are 3/4 inch charcuterie boards, and what my method is I use 1 teaspoon per liter of epoxy mix to achieve the opaque look that I'm going for. Now if I was pouring a 2-inch table, I would use half a teaspoon per liter of epoxy mixed to achieve the same look. What I mean by per liter of epoxy mixed is if you have a 3-liter pour and you're pouring thin charcuterie boards at 3/4 of an inch thick, you would have to use 3 teaspoons of pigment to achieve the opaque look. If I'm going for that same look, opaque look on a table that I'm pouring that's 2 inches thick, I could use 1.5 teaspoons and achieve the same opaque look, if that makes sense. So again, not scientific by any means. This is just kind of the formula that I've come up with over the years of doing this. One thing that you will notice is when you have a super concentrated amount of pigment versus the amount of epoxy, like on these thinner ones, you won't get as big of exothermic reaction bubbles as you would, say, with a lighter mixture of epoxy to pigment. So that's why I swirl these ones. It just gives it a better effect, I think. But feel free to reach out with any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Keep being creative with wood, and we will see you next time.